So let me get this straight. Before last week, fans were ready to say that Daniel Jones will be back as the quarterback in year 7. After last week, people are saying Daniel Jones should be benched for a backup on this team. I'm Coach Gene Clemens, and I have a giant issue.
3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of A Giant Issue. I am Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me. New York Giants on SI. That is where you can find all your New York Giants news and information. Make sure you go there to get everything up to date New York Giants. Also, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to New York Giants on the SI YouTube channel so that you're ready to get everything that I have, Paul Dottino has with the Big Blue Breakdown, and much, much, much more. If you listen and you don't watch, if you listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we always appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment anywhere you can leave a comment. And if you have an opportunity to leave 5 stars, make sure you leave 5 stars. Always appreciate it. I don't understand the lack of patience. I'm not here to chastise or tell anybody how to be a fan. I'm just like, isn't it exhausting going from one extreme to the other every week? Right? I remember the conversations being had about Daniel Jones before the season. Right? I remember those conversations like they were yesterday. People were saying they were on two sides. They were either already out on Daniel Jones, like, I don't need to see anything else. It's over. Get him out of here, right? Or they were saying, well, he's got the weapons. He's got this. He's got that. Let's see what he does. He's got the weapons. He's got the offensive line. Let's see what he does now. So we did. We looked at it. Game 1. 186 yards and 2 interceptions. And everybody said it's over. It's over for Daniel Jones. Like, he's done. He's the problem. Nobody else can deny it. He's the problem. Game 2 versus the Commanders. 178 yards, but 2 touchdowns versus what people believe to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And then everybody was like, okay, it was better. It was a better game. He did his thing. We didn't win, but he was better, right? But there was only 18 points put up in that game, right? Then the Giants beat the Cleveland Browns, who are an abject disaster this year. And Daniel Jones goes for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. And people are going, man, that's what you need out of him, right? 3 touchdowns total against, again, one of the most dumpster fire teams right now of the NFL. They lose to the Cowboys. Same song. No touchdowns. 281 yards and an interception. No touchdowns. 5 field goals. It's quiet. It's mummering. People are mummering. Then he goes out against the Seahawks and puts up 257 yards and 2 touchdowns, and people lost their mind. Oh my God, this Giants team is a playoff team. Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback in year 7. I know a lot of people don't want to admit it, but Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback in year 7. If Daniel Jones keeps playing like this, is he actually the Giants quarterback? All of these narratives are being spun positive about Daniel Jones. Everybody was on the Daniel Jones bandwagon. Hey, that's how you play. Then he goes out against one of the other worst defenses in the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals. And he has 205 yards and an interception. Not very much different than the other games that he's had when he hasn't put the ball in the end zone. And everybody, to a man, the quarterback's gone. We know the quarterback's gone. Even to a point where people were saying, oh, you should bench him for one of the backups. We should see what Drew Lock has. We should look at Drew Lock. Drew Lock could do better than this. And that's where I had to go. Y'all are gone too far once again. Need I remind you all that the NFL cannot be judged on a week-to-week basis. And every time we try to judge the NFL on a week-to-week basis, we look wrong. Why? Because every year, for the past few years, we've tried to tell people who the best team is in the NFL. And never is it the Kansas City Chiefs. Only at the end of the year, every year, it seems as if the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Yet, every year, people are giving us other names of teams who are the best team in the... You get what I'm saying? The NFL can't be judged on a week-to-week basis. That's not how this thing works. It's not how it ever worked. It's not how it's ever going to work. You have to look at things in their totality. That goes for players. One week, y'all were saying Malik Neighbors was a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Then he got a concussion. And you guys know that players can't just play through the concussion. Y'all wanted more safety. At least y'all said you wanted more safety, right? And so they took it out of the hands of the players. They took it out of the hands of the coaches. They put it in the hands of individual people who don't have any ties to winning and or losing. And those people said Malik Neighbors can't play. Those people said Malik Neighbors had to miss another week. Malik Neighbors didn't say that. Yet he goes to a concert. You kill him for going to the concert. He is sitting on the sideline and he's not in Giants gear. You kill him for not being in Giants gear, even though he's not playing. So who in the heck cares? Right? A week-to-week basis means 1 week you love him. The next week you're talking about he's immature and he doesn't care. That's irresponsible fandom, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. To me, I'm saying it's irresponsible and you're making your life harder. That's a lot of up and down stress. Instead of just going, hey, let's see the season play out. And that's what's going on with Daniel Jones now. Daniel Jones is in a situation where we should see how the season plays out. You guys already know where I am. You already know how I feel about Daniel Jones as a quarterback for the Giants. I'm not here to tell you this every single week. I'm here to assess the play every single week and go, in its totality, we'll figure it out. That is why last week I didn't come in here going, oh my gosh, if Daniel Jones does this, then no. Because I'm judging it on its totality. I'm judging it on everything that I see, not just on each week when I look at it and go here. Right? So let's look at the totality of the game for Daniel Jones. Did he play horribly? No, he did not. All of you people who are saying that he played horribly, you people are lying. Right? Did he make some horrible decisions? Yes. Did he make some good decisions that just didn't get paid off? Yes. Need I remind you that if the Daniel Jones slant pass to Darius Slayton, if it stands, he's looking at almost 300 yards. They've got the ball in the red zone, threatening to score. It's not his fault that didn't stand. That came back because of a penalty from the best offensive lineman on the team. The guy that you don't believe is going to get you a penalty is the guy that got you a penalty. Right? When he was dealing with pressure and he was sacked a couple of times, who gave up those sacks? It wasn't because he didn't operate well in the pocket. It was because the best offensive lineman on the team got beat mano a mano twice. I don't hear anybody. I haven't heard one criticism of Andrew Thomas, and maybe I'm just not watching enough content, right? Maybe I'm just not watching enough content. But Andrew Thomas was on the left side. They said, hey, we don't care if Andrew Thomas is there. We're going to leave our best pass rusher over there. And he was able to get to the quarterback twice. If that would have happened to Evan Neal, you guys would have lost your mind talking about how bad he was. I saw Andrew Thomas miss blocks in the running game. I saw Andrew Thomas look like his technique and form wasn't where you would want him to be in the running game. Yet I heard no criticism of Andrew Thomas. Why? Because he's been great. Cool. You want to give him a pass for a bad game? I'm all for it. Don't put that on the quarterback, though. Don't put that on Daniel Jones. That's not Daniel Jones' fault. Daniel Jones had 11 carries for 56 yards. Can you guys tell me how many of those carries were designed runs? He led the team in rushing. Why did he lead the team in rushing? Because they were calling running plays for him, right? Tyrone Tracy doesn't have the games that he's having if Daniel Jones isn't a threat to run. Guess who's not a threat to run like Daniel Jones? Anybody want to guess? I can tell you, any quarterback that's on the Giants roster right now. Is Drew Lock athletic enough to scramble? Yes. Are you calling designed runs for Drew Lock? Drew Lock is broken right now or was broken earlier in the year. Why? Well, you're not going to have him now running the ball too, right? So Daniel Jones is getting you 5.1 yards a carry as a rusher. We can't just poo-poo that to the side and act like that doesn't exist, like he wasn't a part of that. That's disingenuous. That's the stuff that we get on people about doing with the predominantly black quarterbacks who are athletic. Don't just forget about the rushing numbers when looking at the totality of things. Don't just forget about the rushing numbers. You got to include those in. Did he complete the ball well? No, he was 22 for 41, right? But you all said that you wanted him to take shots downfield. So when you're taking more shots downfield, the completion percentage is not going to be as high. Guess what? The best quarterbacks in the league don't complete the ball 70 times a game or 70% in the game. Why? Because they're going to take shots. Joe Burrow was 19 for 28 for 208 yards, no touchdowns. He ran the ball 4 times for 55 yards because one of the play was a 47-yard, we don't know what you were thinking defense, touchdown run. His game, by the way, dropped interceptions. His game looked eerily similar to Daniel Jones' game. The only difference, he came out on the plus side of it. Hey, what's this game like, right, if the Giants don't miss field goals? It's the greatest time of year again. Football is back, and it's here to stay till February. Over 1 million fans across 33 states got into the game last year by making picks on Underdog. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats, i.e. touchdowns, passing yards, and much, much more. I can tell you, Underdog Fantasy, Underdog, I can tell you, Underdog is where I go when I really want to hit those higher and lowers and stack players together. We were rocking earlier, and we're back again to do it again. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code NYSI, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code NYSI, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. You must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. So, like, if we're not missing field goals, does the game script play out the way we saw the game script play out? I know it's convenient to just blame Daniel Jones, but is it right? It's convenient, but is it right? Again, did Daniel Jones have a great game? No. Did Daniel Jones play a game good enough to win? Nope. Did Daniel Jones have some help from some elements within the offense that made this a thing? Yep. Right? Yep. He was erratic. He wasn't as accurate. He did distribute the football. And by the way, this is one thing that I like. He distributed the football well. Slayton got 11 targets. Wan'Dale Robinson got 11 targets. Tyrone Tracy got 6 targets. Theo Johnson, 3 targets. Jalen Hyatt, 4 targets. Here's the problem. Like I was saying last week, I don't know what Jalen Hyatt did to get into the doghouse. But after watching the game, and I was specifically watching Jalen Hyatt. After watching him, I know exactly what he did to get into the doghouse. He does not compete for receptions. He needs everything to be perfect in order to be successful on a consistent basis. And that's a problem when you're not the number 1, number 2, number 3 dude. When you're the guy who's getting the leftover throws, but they might be big leftover throws, you got to make a play because that's how you get more throws. There was a fade ball on the side, on the left side that got thrown. He went up for it with one hand. He didn't attack it with 2. He went up for it with one hand in traffic. There was another time where he was running for the pass, like there was contact, but instead of playing through the contact and trying to go get the football, he just looked like he was trying to draw a foul. Hey, Jalen Hyatt, this ain't soccer, my guy. And if people wonder why I get so passionate about receiver playing, tight end play, it's the position that I played. And I'm not saying that I was ever the pure talent, right, that Jalen Hyatt was, because I wasn't. I didn't run that fast, but I was fast. And I tell you one thing they never said about me. Hey, yo, Gene ain't going to go and compete. Gene's afraid to go across the middle. Gene's afraid to catch in traffic. No, 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 no. That was what I did. And not just because I was a big body, because when I was in high school, especially when I started, I was 6'1" and some change, 155 pounds. And from the moment I stepped foot on a football field in high school, when I was skinny, I was going across the middle. I was never afraid to get hit. Reckless abandon. I was attacking the football. So for me to watch a pro, a guy who has all the gifts, who has all the talent, who wants everybody to know that he's not just a 9-ball guy, not go and compete, not go and fight, not go and claw, to make something more of his 4 targets than a 1 reception, 6-yard day, when Isaiah Hodgins had 1 target and got 1 reception for 5, excuse me, that ain't gonna work. So all the people who might have had something to say about Jalen Hyatt, guys, you're right. Right? I'm watching the ball be thrown. I'm watching the times when the ball's not being thrown. I don't really care that you run the sharpest routes, right? I care that you compete, because competing for the football is what gets the quarterback to want to throw you the football. When you don't compete for it, they don't want to throw you the football. And all of this, right? The offensive line not opening up holes to run through for the running back. The terrible game or the lackluster game by one of the best offensive linemen in the game. Right? The quarterback being inaccurate or not getting helped out or not being able to put the ball in the end zone. The field goal kicker missing, just flat out missing kicks. Both kicks missed the exact same way. All of this overshadows probably the best game we've seen played by the defense. Why? Because they had, in my opinion, 3 plays, and go check out my piece that I did on third downs, right? My third down piece that I did on the New York Giants on SI. 3 times where 3 busts that cost them the game, that cost the defense from winning the game by themselves. The third down where he's able to scramble for the first down. Why? Early in the game, first quarter. Why? Because it gave him the confidence to know. Oh, I can get out because they're playing man. He was able to download the information. And then a few plays later, the next third down, when he runs for 50-something yards on a touchdown. That's 1 touchdown. If you take that touchdown away, Giants win. Right? Because if you take that touchdown away, they're not settling for field goals. You don't have a situation at the end of the game where they're able to punch in another touchdown because the Giants are dejected, right? So that has reverberations. The other big play on third down, the Giants were having a lot of success with their TE stunts, right? That's when the tackles attack the defensive tackles attack the offensive tackle and kind of bring the guard with them. And then the defensive ends loop around inside to the B gap or to the A gap to attack the quarterback. When it's open, it comes fly. And it happened a lot. They were able to make things happen with that blitz. What happened was in the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes remaining or 2:18 remaining, and they ran that stunt. Burns goes inside. They pick it up just enough so that Joe Burrow can see it. Burrow escapes to his left and is able to throw a pass to Yoshivas down the field that picks up the first down, puts them into field goal range, and now allows them to keep running the clock down 2 plays later or a play later, is the rushing touchdown that seals the deal. The 17, the one that puts up 17 points. If the Giants were able to make the stop right there, they could get the ball back. The Giants could play for a field goal to tie it or a touchdown to win. But all of that other stuff on offense that we're talking about overshadows the fact that this defense played not just winning football, championship caliber football versus an offense that everybody believes is a championship caliber offense. They shut down the same quarterback and team that put up 5 touchdowns and over 400 yards, close to 500 yards of total offense versus the Ravens, who everyone believes is the sexy pick to win a Super Bowl. When all I'm listening to is people talk about Daniel Jones's performance, which was not good, but was not horrible, and it doesn't even go, like, to me, it doesn't even warrant you going bench him for a guy that we know isn't good. It's only just Daniel Jones light. That doesn't make any sense. Now, if you said, hey, we think we have a chance to make a playoff run this year, we're going to go out and trade for a Jameis Winston. We're going to trade to go get Tyrod Taylor back. Right? You're going to go and trade for one of these quarterbacks that we feel like are sitting on the bench but could be starting somewhere else. I'm all ears. I'm all for it. Go get Jameis Winston in here. Go get Tyrod Taylor back and watch these touchdowns improve. Watch the scoring drives improve. I 100% believe it. But don't tell me, hey, we should be starting the backups, the guys who can't beat out Daniel Jones. Like, what have we ever seen in any one of those dudes that tells us that they're going to be able to do a better job than what Daniel Jones is doing right now? Nothing. That's just like that old adage. You think you're getting lamps with those end tables? I doubt it. You put in one of those backups, you think you're getting rushing with those passing performances? I doubt it. You think you're going to avoid interceptions with those passing performances? I doubt it. Like, what are we talking about here? Yet all of that hoopla overshadows such a fantastic defensive performance. They played well at every level. They played well at every level. I don't put the touchdown run on them. I blame the DC for that. Right? And it was a masterful game plan. So I'm not saying he did a bad job, but that play call where he had 3 defensive linemen on one side, Burns on the other side, and then blitz the linebacker, right? And then I do blame this on Okereke, because when he blitzed, he didn't stay on that side that's vacated. He went to the three defensive lineman side, which opened up a chasm for Joe Burrow to be able to run through. And they're in man behind because they sent the 5-man pressure, so they're in man behind. What was the adjustment? We're just not going to send 5 anymore. We'll just rush with 4 and get there. And guess what they did? They got there. They got there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm on. But having to talk about the field goal kicking and having to talk about, oh, well, was it the hold or was it the fact that the new punter, I didn't see nothing wrong. I watched them over again. I didn't see anything wrong. sitting there talking about whether or not Daniel Jones should get benched is stupid. Like, we can't do this every single week. Is Daniel Jones going to get benched? Benched for who? Are you guys ready to tank the season? You guys are ready to tank the season already? The Giants are 2-4, and everybody in the division is eh. The Eagles are eh. The Cowboys are eh. The Washington Commanders are a little bit better than eh. And you're ready to tank the season? Oh, there's another 11 games. You want to sit around and watch a tanked season for the next 11 games? Like, that to me is crazy. Meanwhile, right? The team right across the hall, right? Because this is what I always say. You're either getting busy winning or you're getting busy losing. You're either getting busy winning or you're getting busy losing. I don't agree with nothing that the Jets have done. I don't agree with anything the Jets have done. I would not have brought in an old Aaron Rodgers. I would not have drafted the last quarterback they got, but that's a whole different story. I would not have wasted 2 draft picks on running backs only when I already had a running back and another who was really good. And then not play those running backs. Right? I would not have done that. But they went out and got Malachi Corley in the draft. Right? They went wide receiver, running back in the draft. Offensive line was the number 1 pick. They put everything in place to help Aaron Rodgers be successful. They're 2-4 right now, and they doubled down and went out and got Devontae Adams. Do I think that it's wide receiver play that's holding back the Jets? No. I think it's quarterback play that's holding back the Jets. But it didn't stop them at 2-4 from saying, we're firing the coach. We got to get something better. At 2-3. And then at 2-4 going, okay, maybe it wasn't the coach. Let's get another weapon for the guy we've invested all this money in. That's, to me, if you're going down, go down in flames. If you're going down, go down swinging. Man, it would be horrible to watch the Giants just succumb and say, you know what? 11 games, that don't matter. Let's just lose so that we can hope to get our quarterback of the future. I'm not with it. Not with the division being so wide open like this. Because all you need to do is get into the playoffs. And if you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. And if the defense is going to play like they've played versus Seattle and versus Cincinnati, they can beat anybody with competent offensive play. It's that simple. So now it's back on you. It's back on you, front office. What are you going to do? It's back on you, coaching staff. What are you going to do? It's back on you, players. How are you going to get better? Because this season does not have to be a waste. And we'll deal with whoever is going to be dealt with in 2025 in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time I had today. Thank you for joining me, New York Giants on SI. That's where you get all your New York Giants news and information. Hey, go check out my third down piece. Go check it out. I'll have another one for you this week as well. But you want to make sure that you check out everything that's New York Giants news and information on New York Giants on SI website. Also, if you haven't done so, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. We're over 1,700 subscribers. We're still trying to climb to 2,000. I will not stop. I will not rest until we are at 2,000. And when I do, I'll take a breath. And I'll get right back at it to get us to 3,000. Until next time, I'm Coach Gene Clemens, and I have a giant issue.